Thanks for joining us this week on the show. Here's a quick conversation, just you and me, my friend, as we are winding down the year and heading into the holiday season. I am sharing some of my tips and my invitation to you to make this a more heartfelt and authentic holiday season by reviewing the commitments that are coming your way and by having clarity at what serves you so that you can enjoy the best and the brightest of this special season ahead. Thanks so much for joining us this week. It's time to flip the script on stress and learn how to thrive today and throughout your days. Join me for inspiration and interviews with folks who are shining their light in the world in the areas of positive mindset, health, and well-being. I'm your host, Susie Vine. Let's get Happified. Welcome back and happy holiday season. This week, I'd love to have a little chat with you, just you and me, about the way we tend to approach the end of the year, coming into the holiday season, as I like to call it, the holly days season. It is a days of all things holly and jolly. And I'd love to share with you my own ideas, my concepts, theories that I'm hoping to hold true to myself. And I'd love to hear how you feel about embracing a new perspective and a new approach to protecting your peace this holiday season. Thank you again for joining me on the show. I'd love to hear how this lands for you, to have you support this show by leaving a review wherever you find this, whichever podcast platform, or if you're catching the video on YouTube. Thank you for supporting my little pet project here. Today, we're going to take a little dive into the power of the pause and how you might be able to reframe and even change the entire tone of your holiday season. I think it's true. Stick with me. Let's see if we can turn the tables on the trend, step out of this consumer-focused concept of holidays and really create a season that is heartfelt, that is authentic, and truly nourishing to you and your spirit at this time when perhaps you're feeling a little bit drained and depleted, and we can make this a season of restoration and renewal. So thank you for joining me in the midst of all that is claiming your attention. I know that things are starting to pick up speed. We're just past the first week of November as I'm recording this episode. Thanksgiving has not yet fallen here in the States, but it's coming up fast and lots of plans are afoot. So before you fill your social calendar, let's take a look at how we can avoid this end of year rush and step out of this cultural pressure to finish strong, to make the most memorable holiday ever. Somehow that always comes with a link for a purchase. Am I right? I love the idea of making events memorable by making them heartfelt and authentic and truly special experiences that you're sharing with the people that you love. So how can we avoid this pressure to do more during the holidays? We're going to take a look today at how you can find the opportunity to pause, claim that opportunity to pause, center yourself, and check in with what really feels aligned before you feel yourself committed to all kinds of external obligations and events. I know that personally, I would say throughout most of the seasons of the years, but I tend to be an overdoer. I'm a does lots of stuff kind of girl. I work in multiple different capacities. I still have a part-time job as well as my private clients and creating this podcast where I love to connect with you online wherever you are around the world. And so it's easy for me to say yes to a couple of things and have that multiply exponentially. And this year, I am really looking forward to savoring this holiday season with my nearest and dearest. Because previously, some of the work I was doing was in the service industry, was with hotels, and people travel all year around. And even on those very holiday dates, I had work commitments. And so if you've ever felt that way, like commitments are weighing down on you, you've made an agreement that now means this in your life, and you're losing that opportunity to show up and stake that claim for yourself, then maybe this is the year that you too can turn the tables on that and bring yourself back to center and start working out from that place into what is most fulfilling and special for you coming into this season. As you know, I love to talk about stress, the natural impacts on stress, and how we're designed to experience and even thrive under stress. But in all things, moderation. And so you might experience that adrenaline surge when you get that one day to go knock out your holiday shopping and you're charging through the stores or charging through the online shopping websites and feeling that surge of, I have to get this done. I have to get there first. I have to claim that while it's still on sale. And that can feel very invigorating and motivating until that surge is over. And then you're running on empty. That adrenaline of stress that we can create, or that other marketing tactics are very successful in creating within us, really wreaks havoc with our own natural stress and reset systems. We're designed to experience stress and then recover. And if we don't give ourselves that chance to recover, then we're not as able to meet stress when it shows up next time. So today I want to take a look at how we can take a step back and find an opportunity to pause, really savor those opportunities to recover so that you have more energy and capacity to meet it as it comes down the line. Resilience does come from surviving our stressful experiences. And it also comes from pacing ourselves, not pushing or forcing ourselves to get back in there before we are ready or to do more than we have the capacity to do. When you're feeling pulled in every direction, when you're feeling pressure, that is a hard time to be making choices that are going to feel aligned and authentic after that point of pressure. So when you find these opportunities to pause that we'll explore in just a few minutes here, I invite you to come to this space, this centered space, before you offer your answer to holiday invitations, requests, expectations, etc. This pressure that we feel at the end of the year, last week I was talking about this pressure to finish strong in the fourth quarter, to already have plans in place for a powerful next year. And this Western society lifestyle, this, dare I say, more masculine energy of always driving and succeeding, doesn't always work for us. And so if that isn't feeding you, if that isn't leaving you feeling nourished, then take a little opportunity with me to explore this new perspective. Holiday pressure is very cultural. Whatever holiday you celebrate, it comes along with the end of the year. And as much as this holiday and societal pressure is building, the natural energy of the earth, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere, is winding down. We're coming into later fall, even winter in just a few weeks. And this is really a time naturally for your energy to be coming a little bit lower, to be turning within. So if you're feeling that call, don't also feel like you need to press yourself to match a different style or rhythm of energy. Honor what your body is telling you, because your body doesn't have a lot of different ways to communicate with you. It starts by making requests. Maybe you're feeling tired. Maybe you're feeling achy. The stress is building up in your shoulders, your neck, headaches, low back tension. And after those signs and signals, if you're not paying attention and tuning in, if you're not giving yourself the chance to recover, then your body starts making demands. And those are a lot harder to accommodate when you're feeling like you've committed to a busy, buzzing holiday season. So stay ahead of the curve with me and be tuned in to what your body, your spirit says that they are available for. One powerful way to check in with yourself is a couple of questions that I like to bring back to mind. Ask yourself, where am I absorbing pressure that doesn't belong to me? Remember, society is out there. That's in an outer circle. And then your local community, your family, your nearest and dearest, most beloved ones, and yourself. There's different layers of closeness. And where is that pressure coming from? If it's coming from one of those outer circles and you're able to unsubscribe to it, then I invite you to do that. And sooner than later, because the later you are into this season of commitments and of doing, the harder you may find it to be to start reclaiming this peace. So that's why I'm inviting you to get clear on this today and set the tone for the rest of this season and the rest of this year. Ask yourself, what actually matters to me during this season? Where are my values? Where are my priorities? What lights me up? I love to do emotional check-ins too. So ask yourself, what emotions do you want to cultivate this season? Is it being heartfelt? Is it connection? Is it creating beautiful memories with some of your favorite people and not necessarily purchasing a bunch of things that need to be wrapped and then unwrapped, packed and shipped and then received, and all of that buzz? Maybe connection can be created in opportunities to create memories together. In fact, I think it's kind of the most special part of the holiday season in my own experience. So I'm giving you permission here. If you haven't heard this recently, if you're not sure that this is true, let me be the one to tell you that rest is productive. Rest is healing. Rest is where we gain the capacity to meet more challenges, where we build our capacity for resilience. And so by doing less, you have the ability to do more. Productivity isn't necessarily like a muscle that you build by pushing it and pushing it and pushing it until you can do more. In fact, it's counter to what actually happens. The harder you push yourselves without rest, the less ultimately you're going to be able to show up and perform when that big finish looms. And who wants to be up on Christmas Eve wrapping presents until 4 a.m., right? Anyone else ever been there? I can't say I have been there myself. So let yourself recognize that stillness is not stagnation. Stillness can be a very important part of preparation, of moving forward with mindfulness and remaining centered. So you don't need to earn points by doing more than the Joneses, by buying more than the Smiths, by baking more than the Robertsons. I invite you to see what you can accomplish by doing less and how much more meaningful that can be to yourselves and the people that you love. People don't remember what you do. They remember how you made them feel. Think about it for a minute. Do you remember the gift you got from every person that is special to you last year? Maybe you do. Maybe you have a wonderful memory like an elephant. I have some friends like that. I tend to remember the feeling of the thoughtfulness. I remember the feeling of finding something that I knew someone else would enjoy receiving more so than I remember what I sent them. So let's recognize human nature and remember that the emotions are what really stick with us. Even as fleeting and transient as emotions are, they come and they go. But that impact, that feeling, a feeling recognized, a feeling seen and appreciated, that is a lasting emotion. That's a memory that stays with us. So I invite you to choose what matters most to you and release attachment to the rest. Ask yourself right now, think about it. What would a gentle and spacious holiday look like for me? What would a gentle holiday feel like? What would a spacious holiday be like to experience? And where can I choose the easy version of this sensation that you're feeling into right now? Where can I choose the easy version rather than that complicated one? If you need some tools to check in, I always love the power of the pause when you are met with an opportunity, an experience, you're in a situation, and you start to feel yourself feeling emotional, feeling like you need to respond in a certain way. Practice is everything in this. Practice the pause. Tune into what you're feeling. Where is this feeling of obligation or commitment coming from? And then choose that opportunity to pivot. Pivot to what you want to create, what is in the highest and best for yourself and for the people in this situation with you. And even if the person in the situation thinks that what they need from you is a yes, if your affirmation is coming from obligation, responsibility, or already being stretched thin, think about how that's going to be received by them. Are they going to be getting the full benefit of what they're hoping to receive? Are they going to be feeling disappointed and like they're not getting the best of you also? And then you've got guilt coming into play on top of it all. So pause and then take that opportunity to pivot to creating the best scenario for yourself and for the others in the situation with you. You might practice pausing by tuning in. Now, if you're not driving, if you're not multitasking, but practice this by checking in with your body. Place one hand on your heart, place one hand on your belly, connect with your body. Take a deep breath into your belly, feel your belly rise under your hand, and ask yourself, what do I need right now? For the sake of the show, I'm not going to make a lot of time for this. You might pause after you ask yourself, what do I need right now? And recognize the power of breath. As you're breathing, recognize that an extended exhale actually physically slows the beating of your heart. It actually helps to counteract the stress response and bring us back into parasympathetic balance. So as you breathe in for a count of 3, exhale for a count of 6. That's not too much time to take for yourself to get clear on what you're creating, what you're doing, what you are answering to, and reconnect with how you're feeling right now and how you'd like to be feeling throughout this season. Take opportunities wherever you can to pause in nature, to get grounded, even if it is a little less inviting. You might not be able to slip off your shoes and get your bare feet on the ground, but take a pause when you're outside. Look at the trees. If most of the trees have lost leaves where you are, look at some fir trees or pine trees. Watch how their branches move in the wind. Notice birds sitting in branches or flying around. Notice creatures on the ground. Practice noticing. Again, this permission to pause isn't harming anyone, and it's only helping you to get grounded, to come back to center. And it is demonstrated that by connecting with nature, by looking at green foliage, we have better healing, better and faster, deeper healing, and altogether better results and better support for our true selves. So moving forward, I'd like you to take these ideas with you as you are moving about, as you are starting to receive these requests for engagement this holiday season. Ask yourself, does this energize me or does it drain me? Do you feel yourself leaning into it or do you feel yourself drawing away or curling inward to protect yourself? Tuning into these physical symptoms are very, very powerful because sometimes the brain has a very quick response. When we can pause and tune into what the body has to say, then we're going to be better aligned with what is going to be the lasting opinion, the lasting result, the lasting capacity that you have to show up in your aligned and authentic energy. If you have trouble opting out of holiday traditions that everyone has expectations for, take that deep breath, take that pause, recognize you have every right to the boundaries that you are creating with yourself. You have every right to say what you are available for and what you are not available for. When you need to create these opportunities for yourself, when you need to slow down, perhaps you can attend a holiday event, but for only a specific amount of time, not early to prepare to set up and late to prepare to pack up, or one versus the other. If this is a group that you have commitments to, look at how you can be true to the boundaries that feel aligned after this opportunity that you've taken to check in. Look at how you can reconceive some holiday traditions to better serve you. Perhaps instead of preparing an entire feast, it becomes a potluck, and everyone else takes a part in bringing together a beautiful meal. Perhaps instead of gifts for every single person under the tree, it's one person drawing names or choosing a secret Santa kind of a method so that there's only one gift that you're responsible for. And even in that gift, look for ways you can make it experiential. Passes to attend the zoo, if you have a wonderful zoo in your area with great programs that you'd like to support. Certain parks, galleries, nonprofits always benefit from memberships that help them know what funding they have coming towards them and give somebody that opportunity to go enjoy art, to get out and enjoy their local botanical garden, to get out and take a walk through nature. Think about ways that you can create experiential gifts as opposed to stuff that might be forgotten shortly after it's unwrapped this holiday season. Let me know how you decide to make this holiday more authentic and more heartfelt. Leave a comment if you're catching the video on YouTube or if you're catching the podcast on Spotify. Now you can comment on the specific episode. Always join the conversation or get more information at happifiedlife.com, the website where I have all of my podcast episodes, and you can search topics on the homepage. That's happifiedlife.com. And let me know how you decide to make this your most heartfelt and authentic holiday season yet. From my heart to yours, I'm sending you love and gratitude. Thank you for being here, being a part of my community. And let me know how I can support you. If there's a topic you'd love to dive into, share that as well in the comments or reach me through my website. Until next time, I look forward to joining you again. Please take good care of yourself. Thanks for listening. You'll find all the resources we discussed today online at happifiedlife.com, along with links to subscribe to Happified on your favorite player and a handy search tool so you can search all of our previous episodes. Help us grow by leaving a quick review and share this episode with a friend. Until next time, keep on shining.